This is an overview of technician tracking in Windward System 5. And typically technician tracking, when we're looking at it, we're trying to increase billable time, align technicians with profit, and in the customers that we typically work with, unmeasured. So if you're not looking at your technician's time and where it's being billed, is usually running around 50%. So if they're working for you for 8 hours, they're billing 4 hours. That's a pretty easy thing to check. Just take a week's worth of the jobs that are taking place, add up the billable lines on there, and then compare that to the 35 to 40 hours of work that they typically be working with you, and that would give you where you are in respect to just your billable percentage. In Windward software, what that can look like is, as an example, this is just an overview of an employee badge. So you can have a barcode associated with your technician badge, or a lanyard around their neck, or pinned to the computer, so that makes it easy to be able to scan a barcode and start and stop the clock from a technician tracking perspective. If we were to start a new work order with a customer involved, and potentially even a unit to go ahead and associate and do some work against on their machine itself. Here's a quad. When we're looking at the items themselves and dealing with those items, there often is just labor lines that we would be placing on the invoice to bill time. So in this demonstration, we've got some shop labor that would be taking place, and the technicians themselves can either scan the barcode to be able to start the clock, or pick them manually and start the clock in respect to just, okay, we're turning it on, and you can see this will just automatically close and start recording the time, and that allows them to go ahead and do work on it, selecting from canned comments to be able to populate the comments themselves, or just entering in what is important and taking place inside the work being performed. When they're stopping the clock and recording the time being billed, that can be overridden in respect to they got into a conversation or answered the phone or those sorts of things. So in this scenario, we might have 3 hours of actual time spent, and we might bill 2.75 of the time itself against the job being performed. Automatically, shop supplies is being added to the work order itself, so that makes it easy, and that's a percentage of the labor being entered onto the invoice. So with that being recorded, a big part of aligning technicians, and we've even had customers share that going from a place where it was 50% and setting price of admission to say, hey, part of your role in this business is we're looking for a lift, so your base wage is 60%, and anything that you bill past that, we'll commission you on it to encourage them to align and get profitable, because every dollar or every hour or even minute billed translates right to the bottom line, because the hard cost of paying the technician is there, and that's going to translate to just a profit lift inside the business. Our technician reports do allow the ability to report against just the information and the technician information being entered. So what that's going to translate to, just include work orders here, is just showing the work being performed. So in this example, it's showing, of course, date, time information. There's my billed hours, and of course the actual hours, and that's showing some productivity around what that translates to. So 91% productive for this particular employee. To put that into some numbers and give you an example of really the power of that lift, if we had 2 technicians with a shop rate of $75, just finding 30 minutes each, so each technician finding 30 minutes, that's about 6% of their day, depending on whether it's a 7.5 or an 8-hour day. That's an hour billable time each day, so of course that's going to translate to $75. Just as general numbers, by the time you take out holidays, vacation time, 200 working days is a good spitball number. So if we're talking at $75, that's a $15,000 lift without necessarily doing a single thing different in the business. Same amount of work coming through, the technicians are doing their thing, they're just billing their time and recording it in a billing manner. So that certainly can ROI the price of software. We've had customers ROI $50,000 solutions with 8, 10 technicians inside of even 2 months, just enabling technician tracking and getting a handle on measuring that technician billable time.